So the good news that you bought one and you will get one for free. So whatever you heard about Latin America from Marcelo, just remove Latin America and put the Middle East. It applies. So thank you, Marcelo, for the good presentation. So I'll try with you to get more information about the MENA region. To be honest with you, in the morning, in the opening session, I was a bit, coming from the region and seeing that, talking about the potential markets and not mentioning the Middle East market is always a pain for me. And I wonder always, is it a information, data gathering, or are we not providing as game developers enough information about the MENA region? This is what I'm here today. Basically, if you go, yes, this is the last slide. So thanks. It's too early. No, you need to go to the first slide. Yes. So just, I have been in building games since like 16 years now. So I started with feature phones, the small Java J2Me phones. And I worked 16 years based in Jordan, in Amman, and worked closely with the community within Jordan and the Middle East. Which today I will share a few information and a few basically insights about it in terms of game development. My team we are based in Amman, Jordan. We have a small office since 2017, Leamington Spa in the UK. This expansion is not to open a new dimension market, rather than fixing some issues that we had in a kind of talent that we needed within our operation. So the good thing that, in this slide I'm mentioning that we have 60% of our team as female developers, and this is something by design and something that we worked very hardly in the region, and especially in Jordan, to build this capacity of female developers. And they are not marketees, business development, they really work in code. And that's very important, and it had a very strong impact on our numbers through the past 3 years, measurable numbers. So we are seeing the impact of having a female developer within our operation. We build our own IPs, and basically we work on casual board games. We have built Dominoes, is one of our top-selling games. Soon we'll be relaunching our Leo Puff Out. We collaborate, we believe in AR, VR. We collaborated with one of the Netflix top IPs called Oddbod. So we build VR games both on the mobile VR and the Oculus Go. And we have an augmented reality interest within our development cycle. So that type of games that we build. And today I want to go with you to the MENA region. So some people see the MENA region, yes, war in Yemen, war in Syria. We just ended closely the war in Iraq, and a continuous conflict between Israel and Palestinian that hopefully one day it will end. Some people see us rich. Yes, I think 4 of the 8 top producer of oil is in the MENA region. Yes, 30% of the production come from the MENA region. I think the biggest in Asia, or the 5th biggest in the world, is in our region, which is, we call it the Rub' al-Khali. It's one of the biggest. We have less water than anyone else, and good food, hummus, and all the other Mediterranean food. And funny thing that hummus is a good food because it contains the chickpeas and it contains tahina, and both of them that they found as a nutrition for heart diseases, diabetes, and a lot of good things that comes from hummus. So yes, we do have, and all true. So yes, we do all have such combination in the Middle East, but others see MENA in a different way. And the news will see it as numbers and potential. And Amazon recently saw it as a great opportunity, and they started their AWS in Bahrain. And that's That's another way to see the MENA region. How we see it, and I will share how we see it as people, as game developers from the MENA region. We see it as a passion and ambition, and this is the one of this will be next year the Pocket Gamer Middle East. So we've been running a show for the past years. Also, we had the help from Pocket Gamer's team, and the Middle East youth is the highest worldwide. So 30%, I think, today is below 25 years old. So it's one of the highest growing youth, and those are motivated. And why they are motivated? Yes, because we have a war. Yes, because we have a restriction in moving around. Yes, because the lack of water gave them ambition or gave them motivation to work in technology. And that's the potential. That's the potential you want to see in your games in the region. That's the potential that we need you to come and explore in the MENA region. Because of this potential, because of this generation that is today spending, yes, they are rich in the GCC country. So yes, you can benefit from their spending and their money, and you can benefit from the youth that is all over Egypt, Algeria. And the MENA we see it is the MENA that I will explain. And it's not a very complex, as a lot of people try to explain it in terms of market. So just to give a note, when we talk about MENA as game developer, we are not talking about Iran, Israel, or Turkey, because they exist in the MENA region, but those are not the same segment that we can target together today. So when we talk into the MENA region, there is three main hubs: GCC countries, Levant, and North Africa. And when you look to the GCC country, poorly or by luck, you have two, Iraq and Yemen. Yes, they are in the GCC, and no, they are not in the GCC as an official GCC, but they have the same characteristics as the GCC countries. Then we have Jordan, Lebanon, and Syria, and Palestine. Those are the Levant. And then a very strong part of the Middle East region in terms of population and future. And this is a discussion that I had in the morning when you compare, yes, India is big, the potential is big, but if you look into Algeria, Egypt, and Morocco, also they are big in terms of numbers and in terms of growth. And this is where we don't see them in a lot of, I'm subscribed to most of the stats or whatever data providers on our mobile ecosystem, and hardly they talk about Algeria, Morocco, or and because sometimes they mix them with Africa. They are in Africa, but they are in North Africa and the Arabic side. And they have a lot of shared characteristics with us as Arab-speaking country, because they are an Arab-speaking country. Not because they have a French accent in their speaking. That means they are no longer from that part of the target. So if we look into MENA as it is like this, yes, it looks like we have several countries, looks like we have several background culture, but they all speak the same language. And what we call it the Arabic newspaper language. So yes, you can target them in one language easily. They have almost the same culture. And honestly, the region culture has been, if you look into the foundation of the culture, it's basically, especially in the region, is basically came from religion, whether Christianity or Islam. Or even Judaism in certain, basically, North Africa. So all of us have the same, the same base. So to target them is very easy. It's not as complex as, I attended a lot of sessions about the Middle East, putting the complexity of the region, complexity of investment, etc. It's not true. The region is as much. Big question that I'm always asked about, iOS or Android. 50-50, I can't tell. I can't tell 70-30, I can't tell 100-0. What is going under the Android iOS is the spending. Who's spending? So if you If you look into Android, and if you go to Egypt, you will see Android low-end devices. Brands that probably I was talking with a friend of mine on lunch today, and I mentioned Huawei or Oppo, and she never heard about Oppo or Huawei. Because those are the brand, the low-end brands that is $100, $80, but those are not your target as a game developer. Sometimes, yes, they can play games, but hardly they can spend anything. Even conversion through ads, they don't convert. So we target them. Sometimes what I call them is the fillers of your games, especially when you are building a multiplayer games. So you need people to play. You need people to challenge other players who are your big spenders. And those you will find them in the low-end devices that we have in the region. So funny thing in iOS, Android conversion in the Middle East, the moment you have money, you convert to iOS. So if you are in low-income person, you'll have the cheapest Android, or then you have a little bit money, you bring a Samsung, good, mid-range Samsung, Huawei, etc. But the moment you start gaining more money, you convert directly to iOS. And that's the prestigious kind of, look for the iOS device in our region. So we have fairly 50-50 on them, and their presence as devices, as stores, are very strong. So I'm just, we called the Arabic language, there's a letter called Dad in Arabic, which is, we call it Lughat al-Dad. This is the Arabic language. And you will be surprised that why it's important to have your product in Arabic. 7 out of 10 actually browse their internet through Arabic. Yes, we speak English. Yes, sometimes in certain countries, English is so I studied in the Middle East, in Jordan, and my 4 years of university was in English. We don't have Arabic in our universities. So yes, we study in English. We have schools that give strong English, etc. But Arabic is our language. So we use it more often into browsing internet or look into products. App Store, no description. I put this very important, and I hope, I always keep on saying this. Hopefully one day one of the Apple people will wake up and do an action on it. We don't have Arabic description for the Apple Store. So if we take a product now and we want to put it on the App Store, on the Google Play, we'll have an option saying, you put your Arabic description. But when you go to the App Store for Apple or iOS products, you don't have Arabic description. So if 7 out of 10 is browsing in Arabic, how can you target your Middle East audience with no Arabic description? So you find the solution. You mix your Arabic with your English. It has two side effects. The first, will you put the Arabic first or the English first? If you put the Arabic first, then an English user will go to the App Store, see your product, see it in Arabic as a first description, he will skip. And it happened a lot. So what you can do is basically create, and that's a negotiation done with Apple, create a dedicated version for the iOS in Arabic. And that's the only trick that you can. And we did this with a partner we published with them called Ziptolab, with their Cut the Rope and Cut the Rope Magic and King of Thieves. So we did this, and the impact was directly in front of us as numbers, because the Arabic users wants to browse through Arabic. So why Apple is not doing this? This is a big question. We will try to find it one day. So my tip here is why the app, work on the App Store description. Unity, there are a lot of plugins that you can see on the asset store of Unity. Unity, the good thing that they support Arabic, and that's a very common platform. And there is a certain plugins that are in Unity that can convert. Arabic is in seconds. Your game can be, if it's built on Unity, it can be in seconds, be Arabized right to left, because it's important right to left. And then you go to your marketing. And this is a real screenshot for, I hope they are So EWA is very famous now app in the region, and this is how they advertise. And this is not Arabic. This is, this is like when you see a Western movie having some guy, a terrorist, saying, we will kill you, but the Arabic language is written wrong. So that's so that's not Arabic. It is if I read it in a reversed way. So Arabic is attached. So in most of our designers use use Adobe. So you have Photoshop, Illustrator, etc. They don't support today. In the past, they used to have a plugin that supports Arabic. Now they don't support Arabic, but there are third-party plugins, an online solution that you can reverse this and have it a proper Arabic. Because imagine, targeting a user, he will never understand it in order. We understand because technically we go and we translate this into a technical right to left or reverse, but a normal user. So you will miss. This is a screenshot from the Facebook ads. Another thing is the right to left and the links. So again, still technology in progress. SEOs in Arabic still not that strong. So you can build SEOs, but there's still Google algorithms and whatever, whether on a SEO or ASEO's kind of store optimization, it's not there. And the same thing with the links. So if you basically, this is an article that was written, and whoever wrote an article about us, he put, the article name, because it's in Arabic. But when he created the URL, and you want to post the URL on any social media, it will be transferred to a code, and this will make no sense for the normal user. So we have a lot of ads that we see where you go and download or read this news or read about this product, and the whole description is like a virus. So that's another thing that worth mentioning. In addition, the length of text. So Arabic takes more, characters than English, so you tweet less. So basically, that's an important information when you want to advertise. So you need to have your proper text, Arabic text, when you advertise through. And big mistakes from a lot of our friends, they try to adapt Arabic for each region or for each section I mentioned. So you have a GCC Arabic and North African Arabic, then Egyptian, you don't need to do it. Do the basic Arabic, which is what I call newspaper Arabic. It's the most easiest way, and you can approach everyone in the region. And that's again, it's cheap and it's not expensive. An important gamers are gamers. Today, last Pocket Gamer I think in Helsinki, I was asked about how the demographics or how the shape of or the look of gamers. Gamers are gamers today. I don't believe that there is a gamer in the US different than the gamer, and all the big games showed us that we play the same way. It's not about, but and we see the same share almost everywhere today between basically female and male, and the percentage here there is a wrong in the numbers, but there are interest in the region, and today, this month is the month of Ramadan. Ramadan is equal Christmas in the Eastern world. So Ramadan is the fasting month, and that's the month where you make money out of your games. Because people fast, they are tired, and they need something to, either TV or they want to be entertained through games. So we don't see game developers from outside of the region doing anything in Ramadan, where it is the biggest moment where you can generate money, especially starting the week, the second week. So the first week, people will be dying, thinking about food, drinking, etc. Then their body system adapt to Ramadan. Now they want to be entertained, and you don't see any game that is running in the Middle East from outside during Ramadan. One of the most important culturalization aspects I see is the live operation and support. And I think in my studio, the most expensive part of the operation today, is supporting people. And again, we had a good lunch with a friend of mine today, and I was talking about very simple custom in the Middle East, coffee. So we were talking about Starbucks and the coffee, and the coffee is very important in the Middle East, and we have signals out of coffee. So when you come to my house and I serve you a full cup of coffee, that means I want you to go back home early. The less coffee you have in your cup, that means the more welcome you are, because I want to keep on giving you coffee. If I serve you cold coffee, that means, whatever you are asking me, I will refuse it. So think about this in the live operation. There are few small things in the live operation, the way you talk. So it happens, GCC countries, which is the biggest spender, they don't like the live operation support sometimes to come from Egypt or from Morocco or from Tunisia. Or a live operation, they don't like a female to talk with them, to give them direction. So this particular part is the most expensive part, and you need to basically know exactly how to speak with your users in the Middle East, how to compensate them. So it's not about sometimes a refund, or it's not about, because I know a lot of studios similar like us who works on different games. As for example, I have my Domino's. I have my users send me, when they are married, they send me gifts to the office. When they have a happy occasion, because this is the relation that they build with the live operation. And they love it. They love this close cultural kind of relation. So live operation is very important. Social media, the right one, use the right social media basically. Influencer like anywhere else, but again, match it with the social media in the right way. So Snapchat is very big in Saudi Arabia, it's not big in Jordan. To target Facebook is very big in Jordan, it's not in Kuwait. It's Twitter. So know exactly where your traffic is. Again, alternatives are there. App Store, Google Play, yes, they exist, but still we make money through operators, telco operators, through basically alternative stores. And we heard about Unity coming soon with an alternative store. We have Huawei, which is a Chinese handset manufacturer, very strong in the region. They generate as much as Google Play sometimes for your products. So alternative stores are important. And still, unfortunately, someone who came from this background, operators, they have a say on your reach and on your distribution. So you have to build relation with the operators. To wrap up very fast, this is where I see the opportunities. Iraq is coming soon. Iraq is a big market, just getting out from war. They just released credit cards recently. So she started to see people paying online, which is very important. It's a place where they are big spender. Esport is, I think, whoever works on esport need to think about the region quickly because it's picking up. Saudi Arabia basically changed the rules in the past 6 months. Cinemas are there, entertainment. A lot of changes in one of the biggest markets in the region. It's opening more and more into entertainment. Esport is a big opportunity. Of course, ads networks does not exist in our region as strong as we need. And we can see a lot of brands shifting to spend their money basically on ads. Just to end, I want just to advertise for our next show, Pocket Gamer in Jordan. This is Pocket Gamer. Hopefully to see you in Jordan this year in November. Not as just a Jordan, you will see this is from the previous year we built before bringing more of our friends into organizing this year event and hopefully the next year's events.
I'm just having my first experience in Jordan. I've never been here before. I think the thing that impressed me the most was the number of women that were in the audience today. It's something we're working hard on in the U.S., getting more women involved in the business, and here it seems like you're already ahead of us on that.
It's unbelievable to see the energy of the students, to see young people coming with their parents, to seeing the amount of incredible attendance of women, and actually, again, the games are going onto a world stage.
The Jordan Gaming Lab really gives students an outlet to display their own creativity and their passion and drive to make games. It really gives a younger person who has that enthusiasm an opportunity to let that out. It's been really great.
So this is my second year here, and I can say there's been quite a few changes from last year. I think already we were quite impressed last year, and a lot of the things we really liked are still there. There's a very high percentage of female attendees, which is amazing for games industry events.
I got the idea about the Jordan is needed more people who done the international stuff, and then encourage them to they should feel that we can do it too.
I started my career here in Jordan maybe 15 years ago. I started making games with a bunch of people. And back then, we were just, enthusiasts, people that wanted to make games for a game's sake. And now I look at it, and there's all these nice structures, businesses, labs. It has really evolved into a hub. I'm looking at a bright future for this region, for a lot of interesting companies, talented individuals to come out of here and make really fascinating video games.
So hopefully to see you there. Your hummus is on me when you come to Jordan. So thank you very much. I'll be around today and tomorrow. So.